Imagine your morning. What's the one thing that gets you going? For millions, it's the rich aroma and comforting warmth of coffee. Join us as we embark on an adventure to uncover the fascinating history of coffee, from its humble origins to your cup. Our quest takes us back centuries to the heart of Africa. Ethiopia, a land of vibrant culture and lush landscapes, is widely believed to be the birthplace of our favourite morning pick-me-up. Legends abound in this ancient land, whispering tales of how coffee first graced human lips. One such legend introduces us to Kaldi, a goat herder who stumbled upon a peculiar sight. The Oromo People, a nomadic tribe in Ethiopia, might hold the key to even earlier encounters with this extraordinary bean. Our journey begins with Kaldi, a goat herder tending his flock in the Ethiopian highlands. One day, Kaldi noticed something strange. His goats were acting unusually frisky, almost as if they were dancing. Curiosity piqued, Kaldi investigated the source of their exhilaration. He discovered that the goats had been nibbling on bright red berries from a particular tree. Intrigued, Kaldi decided to try the berries himself. He felt a surge of energy. Could these berries be the source of his goat's unusual behavior? Eager to share his discovery, Kaldi gathered a pouchful of the berries and set off to find someone who could explain their effects. His journey led him to a nearby monastery, where he presented the berries to the monks. Intrigued but cautious, the monks were initially skeptical. They decided to destroy the berries by tossing them into a fire. But as the flames consumed the berries, a captivating aroma filled the air. The monks were mesmerized by the rich, intoxicating scent. They raked the roasted berries from the fire and steeped them in hot water, creating a crude but aromatic infusion. The monks, after drinking the unexpected brew, found themselves feeling awake and energized, able to focus on their prayers long into the night. While the tale of Kaldi and the monks is a beloved part of coffee lore, it's essential to remember that it is likely a blend of fact and fiction. The true story of coffee's origins might be found in the traditions of the Oromo people, who have a long and deep-rooted relationship with the coffee plant. The Oromo, skilled pastoralists and cultivators, likely used coffee for centuries before Kaldi's legendary encounter. Coffee was an integral part of their social fabric, used in ceremonies and gatherings. While Ethiopia lays claim to coffee's earliest roots, Yemen adds its own intriguing chapter to the story. Legend has it that a Yemeni Sufi mystic, traveling through Ethiopia on a spiritual quest, encountered a sight that sparked his curiosity. He observed birds behaving with unusual energy, their chirps filled with an almost ecstatic frenzy. Intrigued, the mystic investigated and discovered that the birds had been feasting on the bright red berries of a particular tree, the coffee plant. The mystic is said to have shared these magical berries with his fellow Sufi practitioners, and soon coffee became an integral part of their religious rituals. By the 16th century, coffee had become deeply ingrained in Yemeni culture, and a new social institution emerged, the coffee house. Known as coffeehouses, these gathering places were more than just places to enjoy a cup of coffee. They were vibrant hubs of social interaction, intellectual discourse, and cultural exchange. People from all walks of life flocked to coffee houses to engage in lively conversations, share news, and debate the issues of the day. Coffee houses became known as schools of the wise, where knowledge was shared, ideas were debated, and social connections were forged. With the rise of coffee houses, Yemen solidified its position as the epicenter of the coffee world. As coffee's fame spread eastward from Yemen, it also began its journey westward, eventually landing on European shores in the 16th century. Italy, with its bustling port cities and established trade routes, became the gateway for coffee's entry into Europe. Venetian merchants, known for their business acumen and taste for exotic goods, played a pivotal role in introducing this intriguing beverage to their fellow Europeans. At first, coffee was met with a mix of curiosity and suspicion. Some viewed it with skepticism, wary of its stimulating effects and its origins in the Muslim world. Coffee's popularity in Italy soared, particularly among the wealthy and intellectual elite. From Italy, coffee's allure spread northward, eventually reaching France in the mid-17th century. Legend has it that coffee made its grand entrance into French society thanks to Suleiman Aga, the Ottoman ambassador to the court of King Louis XIV. Aga, a man of refined taste and diplomatic flair, introduced the French court to the delights of Turkish coffee, served in ornate cups and accompanied by sweet delicacies. The novelty of this exotic beverage, with its intense flavour and elaborate preparation, captivated the French aristocracy. Coffee became a fashionable indulgence, a symbol of luxury and refinement. Across the English Channel, coffee was also making its mark on British society. The first coffee house in England opened in Oxford in 1650, quickly followed by others in London and other cities. These establishments, often referred to as penny universities, became centres of intellectual discourse, social interaction, and, some argue, even revolution. Unlike the exclusive coffee houses of Paris, English coffee houses were open to men of all social classes. Anyone could enter for the price of a penny, purchase a cup of coffee, and engage in lively discussions on topics ranging from politics and religion to science and literature. Coffee houses became breeding grounds for new ideas, fostering a spirit of debate and critical thinking. As coffee was captivating Europe, it also embarked on a new adventure across the Atlantic Ocean, destined to leave its mark on the Americas. In 1607, Captain John Smith, a legendary figure in early American history, is said to have introduced coffee to the settlers of Jamestown, Virginia. Smith, having encountered coffee during his travels in the Ottoman Empire, brought coffee beans with him to the New World, hoping to establish the crop in this new land. However, coffee's initial reception in North America was lukewarm at best. The colonists, accustomed to beverages like beer, ale, and cider, found the bitter taste of coffee unfamiliar and unappealing. Despite these early setbacks, coffee gradually began to gain a foothold in North America, thanks in part to the growing popularity of coffee. pushed tea into Boston Harbor in protest of unfair taxes. While coffee's journey in North America was initially met with a mix of indifference and resistance, its arrival in the Caribbean was met with open arms, or rather, ideal growing conditions. The Caribbean, with its warm climate, ample rainfall, and fertile volcanic soil, proved to be a coffee grower's paradise. European colonial powers, recognizing the economic potential of this newly fashionable crop, established vast coffee plantations on islands like Jamaica, Cuba, and Hispaniola. The Caribbean quickly became a major hub of coffee production, supplying Europe's ever-growing demand for this stimulating brew. Plantations, worked by enslaved Africans, churned out enormous quantities of coffee beans, transforming the economic and social landscape of the region. As coffee plantations flourished in the Caribbean, the crop also found its way to the mainland of South America, where it would soon take root and reshape entire nations. European colonists, seeking to expand their coffee empires, introduced the crop to countries like Brazil, Colombia, and Venezuela. The climate and terrain of these countries, with their high altitudes, tropical temperatures, and rich volcanic soils, proved to be perfectly suited for coffee cultivation. Coffee plantations, often carved out of dense rainforests, spread like wildfire across South America. Despite the social and environmental challenges, coffee cultivation brought about significant economic transformations in Latin America. Countries like Brazil and Colombia rose to prominence as major coffee producers, their economies increasingly dependent on this valuable export. From the Ethiopian highlands to the bustling coffeehouses of Istanbul, from the plantations of Latin America to your cup, coffee's journey has been extraordinary. What began as a simple bean has transformed into a global phenomenon, a beverage that transcends borders, cultures, and generations. As we sip our favorite brews, it's worth pondering the future of this beloved beverage. The coffee industry faces challenges, from climate change to fair trade practices. As consumers, we can support sustainable farming and ethical sourcing. By choosing responsibly produced coffee, we ensure a brighter future for the industry. New chapters are being added every day as enthusiasts explore and experiment. Appreciate the long history and exciting future of coffee.